Hi, I'm Meg. Earlier this summer, my partner Mike and I bought 3 acres of undeveloped land, and we're well on our way to building our dream property. We began by clearing the land to find a supposed existing well that was dug here in the 80s, but unfortunately, there was no well to be found. After finding out how expensive well drilling would be, we decided to try drilling it ourselves. So we built a homemade drill rig and successfully drilled our own well, hitting crystal clear water. But in order to make our water safe to drink, we need to get a well house built. And fast, because the seasons are changing right before our eyes. And Mother Nature waits for no one. Last time you saw us, we poured our concrete slab. So we're going to be framing the walls, getting a roof on, insulating, and installing our filtration equipment so that we're no longer filling off our neighbor's well every 3 days, but so that we're able to hook up our water lines and have drinkable water before winter. So let's get to building. We started off by drawing up our plans and making our cut list. So we've already done up our preliminary design for the front and the back walls. So we're just gonna start cutting away at these pieces and start framing the front wall. We're doing 2x6 walls, everything is 2x6. So 6 at 5'10", I'll take those. Unsurprisingly, there are many ways to build a small shed or storage structure. For this well house, Mike and I are focusing on simplicity and keeping costs low. Our main goal is that this build keeps our well and equipment from freezing.
Framing in the dirt.
Framing in the dirt! Well, tell you what, it's better than turbos in the dirt. Over the past year, I've been taking on projects I once doubted I was capable of, like mechanics and carpentry. But Mike, with more than a decade of building and wrenching experience, naturally works at a bit of a faster pace. Which end? This end? Okay. Boy, the whole stack?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You got it?
Yeah.
Just walk on it.
Oh, geez. So we're gonna be sheeting this vertically. Normally you do it horizontally, but
Normally in our area.
today we're doing it vertically because it makes more sense for us. How perfect does this need to be?
Not.
Great. It's perfect for me. Dees.
Yeah. You got a little,
A little haywire.
on
The
that D, you got a little haywire.
That's what it is.
And then we'll nail the short side of the sheet,
Uh-huh.
and then we'll crank the whole thing into square.
And then
with the
nail it
sheet.
down.
Yeah. And then just pop one nail in it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Your pace is scaring me. I can't even find my line.
Keep your head up on the ice.
Oh! Now, all jokes aside, Mike is an excellent teacher, and he's been helping me learn new skills in trades most often considered a man's job. Keep your head up.
Yeah, and then we'll take these
Oh my God.
beam that goes above the door.
Oh yeah, right. What did you call it
A
again?
lintel.
Lintel. Like a mantle. And then this one we want on this side.
Lintel goes here, and then the cripple goes underneath it. Cripple supports the lintel.
And then that's the beginning of the rough opening for the door.
Exactly, yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
Lintel.
Here. Did you cut that maybe a hair long?
I did?
Yeah, that's okay. That's why they're called rough openings, not exact openings.
Thank God.
So this cripple, slide her up, should be flush at the bottom there. How's that?
It's about an 1/8 inch off.
Short or proud?
Short.
We're not framing grand pianos here, we're framing a well house.
That one's more even.
So see the R on that one?
Yeah.
So did you just put the R upside down by any chance?
No? That's next. So the mark's in the hole, and then we can run it to the top there. Once you're happy with it?
Yeah. Oh wow, this cut. Holy moly.
Not the straightest cut. Although my quality of work is still, well, a work in progress, each project is helping me improve my skills and gaining confidence in areas I once feared.
Try to push up, not out. Yeah. It's heavy.
It is. Oh god.
You got that?
Yeah, for now. Picking it up like that. Definitely don't want a strong wind blowing right now. Okay, you got it?
Yeah, go grab those 2 buffaloes.
I'll be back.
Not bad, eh?
So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this 2x4 to brace this front wall while we go and grab the back wall.
So this is a 3/16.
We're basically hammer drilling a hole into the concrete, hammering a nail into the hole with the wire so it packs it out kind of.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So one question that came up a lot is, what was the foam I used under the slab? In our province of BC, we are in a cold climate, so we have to insulate the concrete so that the heated space doesn't have a lot of thermal loss. So the foam that we used is actually called under slab insulation. Also, the only way that this foam breaks down is through UV light, so through sunlight. By putting the gravel up against the edges, that protects it from any light and prevents it from any degradation. Well, let's drill these in. Now, in full honesty, when we poured this slab, we were definitely in a rush and kind of cheaped out on our approach. Although we do have some ideas for fixing any potential problems or issues that may arise, like the slab shifting, or our well casing cracking because I forgot to put a gasket in prior to the pour, only time will tell if we should have done footings. Now we have to bring the back wall over. Tilt it towards me.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. Like now we can just yift it.
Gotta remember to breathe.
I was holding my breath. The OSB, it's overhanging.
This way?
To me.
Okay, it's good then. I don't know.
It is overhanging correctly. After getting both the front and back walls plumb and temporarily anchored in place, it was time to plan our rafters for our roof. Okay, what's next? So we do the bird's beak, right? Bird's mouth? I knew I was going to get that wrong.
A larger speed square, framing square would be the...
Do you want me to grab you my framing square?
No, we're making do. That's your hip and valley cuts. Here's your common, so your regular rafters. We've done a 312 pitch roof here. 312 is just kind of the minimum you want to go for asphalt shingles. Asphalt shingles are easy, cheap, simple. That's what we're gonna be doing around everywhere. And when it's put on an angle, essentially it's gonna
squares
be like
up,
this.
right? Because it's on an angle already.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna be less than 12, but I'm gonna mark 12 and 11. And we are going to be somewhere between that. This, we're just setting our overhangs front and rear. It's gonna have more runoff off the backside, so you almost want more overhang there, but aesthetically it's just gonna be roughly a foot all the way around. I think that's gonna look good.
And this is our first rafter that we're laying out.
This is gonna be our common, so we're gonna lay this out and then we're gonna
It's like a
use this-
template.
Yeah, use this as a template. Yeah, that should line up with outside of sheeting. Okay, you lift that
Up to you.
bad boy up.
Safety step.
Gotta get your safety step.
Ultimate safety.
Tell me when I'm close.
Close. There. That's it.
How's it look at the backside?
I can't see the line.
No?
No.
Yeah. So that's our line there.
Right.
So now I get to measure up right on this outside edge. So right where this wall intersects right there. We are going to take a measurement at that point, just like that, 1.9 So if you go from there, or 1.9 measured up here, and you cut that out, this will sit perfectly down. And we could have done math and measured, but I find this is just a good way to do it. 1.9, just like it should be.
1.9. Nice.
Same as the other side. So here, 1.9 up this side. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side. So this is what you should have used to finish your stair string.
That is true. So this is what you call a bird's mouth. Very nice. Beautiful alignment. The last thing we're going to do tonight on this project is cut the pipe from the well that goes to our well pump so that we can rotate it inside, so tomorrow we can finish framing this wall. Pump that we bought has something wrong with it and it leaks, so we're going to be returning it. So our well's going to be down anyways. It's a perfect time to do this.
It leaks from that stainless steel to that plastic fitting.
So they've ordered us a new one. It should be. Oh.
No, it's fine. It's not plugged in. It's just going to bleed the pressure off.
Exciting. Shimmy. Punk. I guess we could have made it whatever length.
Whatever length. That would've been nice.
There you go. Plastic and some E-tape. Oh, and now the sunset's gone. So we're gonna leave it there for tonight and we'll be back tomorrow morning. It rained for days, but with all the projects going on around the property, we had no choice but to work through the muck. And I gotta say, we really appreciated the cat. What a mess. Oh my god.
It's safe to say that this was 100% the right call to make. Both of us struggled spending the money on this, but this is the soupiest, sloppiest, softest ground one can imagine. And it is just working flawlessly. The backhoe is slowly sinking in. It gets about 3/8 of an inch closer to touching the ground every day.
How are you doing, old guy? Oh yeah, it is sinking. Can you imagine? That is not a lot of ground clearance. All right, well, it has been a couple days since we worked on the well house, and you might notice from behind me, we have a lot of mud to deal with. And that is because we just had 2 atmospheric river events, and that is just a fancy word for saying we got a butt ton of rain. In the meantime, we have been working on our second septic field for our manufactured home, and that meant that Mike had to move a lot of material back and forth across this area, oftentimes with a very full bucket, and it really tore up the place. Mike is actually going to fix this area so that we have better access to the well house. He's gonna lay down some pit runs so we have a bit of a roadway back and forth here. And while he's doing that, I'm gonna be working on cutting our rafters. We already have one template made, so I'm just going to carbon copy that onto some more sticks. Let's get into it. Here's my template. My first piece. Should probably finish cutting these ends first, and then I can properly trace this onto this board. Got my jigsaw, and I'm just gonna cut along this line, then I'll do the same to the other side. Flip it over. That all looks good. Not cut that one nearly as nicely. While that mess was going on, Mike was busy putting in a better access road. But our electrician showed up with materials we needed for the manufactured home, so the well house once again had to wait. Try not to dump a bunch of sawdust in here. There, click. How's this side? Not good. Needs to both be lined up first. There. And then back. Secure. So Mike is going to explain to me how I can fix my rafters that I cut with a jigsaw rather than the chop saw we just bought. And then I've got to cut 8 total, 2 of them without bird's mouth. You keep walking in front of me, bro. Okay. I think I already have 3 cut. Hopefully those 3 can be salvaged. We'll see. 2 of the rafters are not going to have the bird's mouth cutouts. And those are going to be for the outside of my roof framing. So I'll have to remember those.
So the top edge is not too bad. It's a little out there.
Yeah.
But the bottom edge here, I'll flip it over.
You see right there.
So the bottom edge is not quite as good, you know?
Oh, hello. I think this is called an emperor dragonfly.
Yeah, they're
We have a lot of them.
The head for size.
Yeah.
The issue is this is our template. So we need to mark all the other pieces to this. Or we like cut a new template or
No.
trace it off that edge. And the 2 end points are pretty well good. So we're gonna mark this side as up.
Up. So I'm cutting my 12 footers to 10 foot 10.
Yeah.
Square ends.
Yeah.
12 footers.
So I think you got this, no problem. I'm gonna go jump in the cat and throw that
Rock bucket.
root
Right?
bucket,
Whatever it's called.
whatever you want to call it, so I can get some of this cleared out so we can get that other bit done.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, exactly.
Love it. Yeah. For those of you wondering, at the beginning of October, we rented a brush hog, but unfortunately with our auxiliary hydraulic issue in our skid steer, the brush hog wouldn't work. So we returned it and rented a root rake bucket instead. Mike has traced it down to a wiring issue, likely in the joystick of the skid steer, so when we get some time, we'll look into fixing that. But honestly, this root rake bucket worked really well for us, and we were able to clear the area we needed to pretty easily. So the first thing we gotta do is fix our little mistake and put the sill gasket underneath these walls. So we're gonna pry them up, slip that sill gasket underneath, and then fasten them back down. We removed our temporary holds, pried up the walls, and added the sill gasket. There we go. And then you go off this so you don't crack the wood. There, I got it.
Or that, whatever, however it works for you.
Then used the hammer drill to drill a hole through our bottom plate and the concrete slab in order to add our permanent anchor bolts. We got cuttings! Confounded, I don't know what you mean. That is just so clean and simple.
But if you don't have an impact, that's not as easy.
No, true. I would think so. If you were hand ratcheting that, it'd be hell. Oh God. Yeah, you're really gonna press hard. Okay. Okay.
Those aren't going anywhere.
Anywhere.
Oh, they're both saying they gotta come that way a bit. Let's
In?
just quick adjust it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Okay, awesome. Okay, so this is gonna be our bottom plate.
Here's a tip too for you.
Yeah.
You're cutting on the ground.
Oh God.
Put it on your left foot like that, and it holds it up off the ground. The saw wants to cut vertical.
Seems like an advanced skill.
No, it's chill. It's a Larry Hahn tip right there.
Who's that? Someone you worked with?
No.
Oh.
Skill saw, tool belt. That's how you frame a house. We would watch Larry Hahn how to at carpentry school.
Funny. Hammer drill to the other side? Yeah. Okay, so now that all our anchor bolts are in, we gotta put the rafters up first because then we can determine the height of our studs and our top plate.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, sweet.
As we're gonna do our layout underneath here.
Okay.
We want our layout to be 24 inch on center for our insulation.
Yeah. There we go.
It's fitting pretty dang nice.
Nice. What are you doing?
No, it's okay.
Like
There
that.
you go. Now you only gotta hold the one side. Yeah.
So now we toenail or toe screw this in. Okay, so now we take the measurement from the bottom of this to the top of the plate.
Short to the long. 63 and an eighth long.
So we're cutting the studs at the same angle, the 14 degrees, as I did my rafters, because that's the angle of the slope, the roof.
Or 312.
Yeah. Your short end comes underneath and the long is at your mark. If you're this way, then the long is going to be on the other side.
There you go. You're
Yeah.
picking it up.
Yeah. This way. It's that time of day. Site super. What do you think? Coming to investigate. Oh, yeah. Classic.
Right beside the job site.
As day turned to dusk, we began sheeting the walls under the golden glow of the sky. And although we didn't get the roof on this evening, we were able to seal up the walls and get the rafters up. All right, it's another beautiful day. We actually had some stuff to take care of this morning, so we're getting a bit of a later start. But our goal for the day is to finish up the framing of the roof because we have some more rain in the forecast.
Perfect.
We're at the point where we have the rafters secured. We have to do the front one first, this one here.
Yeah.
And then we put the outside pieces on.
Yeah. Then we're gonna sheet it. Then we're gonna put the fascia on.
We're on a faster pace today. Uh-oh. Come on. Work with me here, ladder. All right, we're good. I'm ready. Might as well practice being With the roof framing completed, we used the cat to lift up a bunch of 4x8 sheets of OSB so that we could sheet the roof. Not a lot of places to stand.
No. So push it as much as you can.
Yeah.
At it?
Yeah. We used H-clips to support the edges of our sheets and nailed everything down.
Uh, 11.5 exact.
After getting our final pieces down, it was time to install fascia, a type of trim board which covers the space between the roof and the walls, creating a neat finish to our roof line.
There's still a clamp up top. You're gonna have to hold the fascia in place
That's
and then
fine.
clamp it.
The process was fairly straightforward. We brought the boards up to the roof framing, clamped it in position,
Okay, you're confident all the way to the front edge, nice and flush?
measured in place, and brought it back down to cut it to a perfect fit. We then brought the fascia boards back up and nailed it in place. And then this process was repeated on each side of our roof. And although there was still a couple hours of light left in the sky to continue working on the well house, we once again had other tasks pulling us away. This time, travel trailer chores. And these are the unglamorous things. We've got power off of our trailer battery, using our water jug to keep the ends from touching. And then it runs to our macerator pump. These are the things that you gotta do every couple days, and it takes about an hour each time to do this, because you can't leave the pump unattended. No one wants your macerator pump to break. To spare you the specifics, a macerator pump essentially makes it possible to pump wastewater from our travel trailer to our septic field. So now I gotta go get some water from my neighbors, and I've got this water jug here. I'm just gonna disconnect my terminals. This is a part of full-time travel trailer living that I never expected to consume so much time each week. The chores to maintain are somewhat of a boondocking lifestyle at the moment, take about an hour each every few days. Never mind the regular chores and personal life-sustaining tasks everyone deals with on a daily basis, making it feel like we're never really getting as much done around the property as we would like. But once we have our well house done and drinking water readily available and plumbed in, things should start to get a little easier. Freshwater connection, hose. The top is cracked. That way it doesn't create a vacuum when the water starts flowing. Turn it on. There we go. Hose right into our tank. All right, that about does it for tonight. I'm gonna go make some food. It's cold.
It's cold this morning. Let's get this done.
Let's do it. With the fascia on, next up was flashing and roofing.
I need the nailer.
To my surprise, there were a lot more steps of putting a roof on than just slapping down some sheeting and some shingles.
But we're not going right to the end yet.
No. But depends what we decide we want to do. Some people do a drip cap like that on the leading edge, but then some people do a full cap. So you lay your shingles all the way up and then you nail that top row and then you take a piece that goes over top of your
Shingles. That way the water runs down it. That way. So next is the
We need the roofing pallet.
roofing. Okay, I'll move the truck. All right, back to where we left off with the water jug last night. Undo this. Okay, good enough. Then we gotta move the truck out of the way. Carry that. Nail box, yeah. Is there a trick to bringing up heavy objects on a ladder?
Shoulder.
I have to get this on my shoulder. Oh, Jesus.
Now lean forward. Put that edge there, and now reach your arm back. Yeah, now shimmy it forward. Just kind of shake and
Oh,
there you go.
oh. Tricks.
Shimmy.
Oh,
It's not bad.
no. There's a technique for everything. Ice shield. Cold weather things. Because they don't do this everywhere, right?
No.
This is just for ice.
Yeah.
We get a lot of ice. So you cut a little extra, I guess, on that side, a little
It's
overhang.
impossible to handle the roll.
We laid down the Ice Shield, which is a self-adhering rubberized asphalt roofing underlayment, in order to protect the lower edge of the roof from ice buildup.
So many different materials.
This next roll of material we used is a synthetic roofing underlayment, which basically acts as a rain jacket underneath the asphalt shingles.
I always use a stapler for like roofing materials. Tyvek. I never use a roofing nailer, so I'm interested to see how this works. You're not supposed to stand on it when it's not nailed in.
Oh.
Don't do what I did.
Get back over there.
Extra step.
Yeah. As long as I don't look up, I'm fine. This is good. I'm getting more comfortable.
On the roof.
After nailing down the roof underlayment to the top portion of our roof, now being protected from the elements, we added our side flashing pieces and started to bring up our asphalt shingles.
You have 5 pieces of this? Starter strips?
It's probably four or five, yeah.
Well, I'll bring 5 up. Might as well have more than we need.
So those you don't want to crease.
Starter strips.
So tell me that reveal underneath is equal. Okay?
Yeah, it's better. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next one.
Whoa.
But if you've ever tried to lift a package of asphalt shingles, you'll know why we opted to lift the pallet up with the cat.
You gotta cut this? So here, I'll get this one over here. And we wanna start
Okay,
down.
you gonna nail that one?
Sure.
You just line that up with the other piece.
And then I'm nailing on this rubberized thing,
Just above it, yeah.
just above it. Chill.
It's the easiest.
So chill. I like this. so good.
Oh, this is a pain cutting this edge. Like with just that little piece, we want to cover those nails, we want to cover that upper seam, and then we'll nail that upper edge, and then our flashing will sit there and it should work well. Yeah. It's gonna be fine too.
Nice work on
that.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Nice and tidy.
Yeah. Another piece of
So we are going to put some rubberized caulking there on those nail holes. We're not roofers, but I'd say we did a decent job. Hey Meg?
Oh yeah. So Mike is just doing some research, so I'm gonna get a head start on insulating the inside of our well hut. When we went to Rona, they were sold out of the type of insulation we wanted to use, which is the fiberglass stuff, I think. This is rock wool. You know, I don't really understand the difference. There is a difference, but it'll still do a great job because it is the right insulative value, R22. I'm gonna open it up, we'll get it installed. $23.5. Wow, this stuff's really easy to cut. So we will be wiring this. We're gonna have one light, we're gonna have an electrical panel so that obviously it can run the pump, but we don't have those materials right now. Is it the most streamlined way of doing it? No, but we don't really have all the information we need to actually get this perfectly laid out how we want it. So we're just gonna do as best we can with what we know now, and then we'll come back and make some adjustments when we need to. More insulation work to come, but for now we need to jump back outside and get some Tyvek on these walls.
This is way too tall. I think what we're gonna do is just tack it, run it all the way around, cut it,
okay,
and then just deal with it.
It makes the worst noise.
The worst. Hold that way.
Okay. Excellent work.
Really not that bad.
No, that was chilling.
But it's more like a Gore-Tex. But eventually the water will slightly seep in, you know what I mean? We are waterproof now. Mm-hmm. It's gonna rain for the next couple days. Mm-hmm. Pretty hard. We gotta get this trench done.
Yeah, the waterline trench.
You can do the insulation ceiling.
And I can definitely do that. I can put those up in the ceiling. I don't think it matters. That way I can use my right hand. And then that sit on there. Is there a wrong way to do this? Yes. Will I probably figure out how to do it the wrong way? Yes. Maybe I'll try stuffing the insulation first. Over at the manufactured home, Mike got started on our waterline trench, but I'll be filling you in on that project another day. So let's get the backhoe out of the field.
the odds are it starts.
Low.
Because we haven't been using the backhoe and only firing it up to move it out of our way, the battery was dead when we went to move it. So we hooked up our booster pack and the skid steer to try and jumpstart it, but even with our jumper cable directly to the starter, she wouldn't start. So we pulled the truck up to see if both the Cat and the F-150 would be enough juice. Our lovely neighbor stopped by to lend us another set of jumper cables. All right, now let's get this thing off the field before it's too late.
That's one pass.
And this is like solid, well,
Yeah.
for our property, solid ground. Every time you drive it anywhere, it just leaves ruts.
Yeah.
But we just need to get rid of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, I know some of you may be sad to hear this, but we decided to sell the International. At the end of the day, we need to be able to drive our piece of equipment around our property without rutting everything out and giving us another thing to fix. Our ground is just much too soft for a wheeled vehicle.
Goodbye, International. Good morning. Well, it has already been a busy morning. We said goodbye to the International backhoe, and we have a ton of work to get done here before a 3-day torrential rainstorm. I also wanted to point out that there's a rule of thumb around here that our neighbors told us about, that when the snow sticks to that mountaintop right there, we have about 4 to 6 weeks before the snow lands right on our ground right here. So, with that being said, let's get into work.
What happened there, Meg?
I fell. I was trying to carry the ladder in an efficient way. I fell over.
I mean, I was watching you and I do not think that that was an efficient way at all.
Hey, did you film it though?
I didn't.
No one knows how efficient it really was. I mean, why fold it up if we're gonna unfold it in a second? These things need maintenance, and this is part of the reason why we don't want to live in it throughout the winter, is they constantly need upkeep.
We added some caulking to one of our bump outs, and I jumped back on the road in search of a product that proved to be extremely hard to come by in this area. And unfortunately, this took most of the day.
So Meg just got back from her trip into town. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I just want to get Blueskin on right now, even though it's the end of the day. Meg got the Blueskin primer, which around here no one had in stock for some reason. You like need it if you're gonna install like butyl flashing when it's cold.
Mike sprayed on the Blueskin primer and added the membrane, and that was unfortunately all we were able to get done on the well house that day. That night, another atmospheric river rolled in, bringing an additional 1.5 inches of rain overnight.
All right, let's install this door.
Peace.
You want tuck tape?
We taped up a few areas of Tyvek around the doorway in preparation for the door install.
We're gonna sweep this off and put that entire tube of caulking
Oh,
underneath the door.
right. So let's test fit it first, I guess. Oh yeah, it's an in-swing door. I gotta say,
no.
what? What? Critical error?
The door isn't gonna open all the way.
Oh, because the slope of the roof is too great?
Yep.
Ah,
Well, this is unfortunate.
They only had in-swinging doors in stock within an 1.5 hour radius of our house. So that's why we went for an in-swinging door. This is one of the things that has been the hardest to adjust to living in a small town, is the accessibility to materials. Yesterday it was a almost 3-hour round trip to go and get this Blueskin spray adhesive, which you'd think would be super easy to find, but no. How did you get this door installed so easily? This took me like an hour to do in the Secan.
How's that? Ish?
Yeah, ish. That looks great.
So with only in-swinging doors in stock and honestly really just wanting to get our well house finished up, we decided to install this door for now, and we can switch it out if it really bugs us.
Is that silicone?
Yeah.
Caulking? Yeah.
We're just gonna set it in. There's no adjusting, there's no moving around. Otherwise we smush it all out of the way.
Together, we installed the door, and although a little frustrated by some of the nuances remote living is bringing us, we stayed positive and kept pushing forward to get our little well house weather tight.
And then we do the same to the other side. Like, who cares if the door doesn't open all the way? It's a well house. We're likely hardly ever going to walk in this thing. You know what I mean?
Ideally, we walk in here once a year
To change the filters. Exactly.
But what we do need is our well house to not freeze.
Yes.
One, we could use this door somewhere else later on if we
Yeah,
need to.
exactly. We can switch it out. It doesn't matter. Okay. That looks good. It's buzzy tool time.
That blade's a little sus. I don't know what you did with that.
I touched a nail.
You don't cut all the way through. All you do is score the second one.
Oh.
It snaps off.
Nice.
We got the door installed just in the nick of time. The weather was rolling in, so we got some extension cords run to our generator so we could set up some lights and continue our work inside the well house.
Mike's just grabbing some supplies, so I'm going to finish up scabbing in the insulation, and then we'll keep going in here.
I got to work fixing my hack job of insulation installation in the ceiling.
And now I can scab in the inside pieces. As you can tell, it started raining. It's gonna be a lot more where that came from. Flush with the wall now, which is what I was initially supposed to do, but I forgot that little detail.
And after Mike added some spray foam around the door, we installed some more backing pieces so we could install the vapor barrier and interior sheeting.
The back wall and the ceiling up to this point.
Okay.
And we'll leave a little tie-in flap here. Because it's 10 feet. So that'll give us a foot on either side, which is a good amount of tie-in. We're going to unroll this to the bottom. And see how the roll is like tight?
Yeah.
But when I cut, this cut's going to be square. Roughly.
Yeah. You've got enough excess at the bottom as well.
Yeah.
It's a boat heater, right? Like a...
It's basically for use for storage. You
Yeah.
leave this in something that you're going to store.
Yeah.
Like even if you're storing your RV, this would be good to just leave in your RV. It just keeps it dry. Man, the timing of buying these rain boots.
Oh, impeccable.
The 4x8 sheets were too big to cut inside the well house, so we braved the rain and quickly got them cut, trying to keep them as dry as possible while the rainstorm rolled in.
We're gonna screw the OSB on. That way we can pull them down if we need to wire it. It's just better than putting nails in right now.
So,
Oh, we're gonna screw in our shim.
yeah, I'm going to make it a little easier.
Corner?
Screw. Is there anything in the corner there?
I mean, that's where I have my piece, right?
I don't know where you screwed it. No. I have no blood in arms. Hey, come here. Put your right arm out. You're good.
Thankfully, it was dry and relatively warm in the well house, so we continued working late into the night, getting more pieces of sheeting, insulation, and vapor barrier in place. But the next morning, we kicked it into high gear, only having a few hours before the next storm would be rolling in. we decided to remove the door to give ourselves more room to install the last few pieces. We divided and conquered. While I cut OSB, Mike drilled a hole in the side of the well house for our electrical cable rough-in.
Probably could have done this afterwards, but I hate when I don't do things and then I regret them.
You're like staggered and
Yeah.
stuck together.
So you can notch them.
People are gonna know where I get my safeties from.
You do it for long enough, you kind of do things you're not supposed to, but you know to be careful about it. And
Just like anything else. Wouldn't you have to
Here.
put it like flat up and down and then feed it in?
all it needs is a little back bevel on her.
Yeah.
You see where I back beveled? I don't want a cold spot there, so I'm
Oh.
gonna fill where I back beveled.
I like
A little bit on every side. You could have used insulation, but that's twice the amount
Our
of insulation,
value,
which
yeah.
that's going to be lowered everywhere else. So it's good to do what you can to not have cold spots.
Finally, the last few pieces of sheeting went in. The door got rehung, and our doorknob and deadbolt installed.
Oh my goodness, I'm exhausted.
Same. We gotta go get water after this.
I hate to say it, we also have to get propane and fuel.
And fuel?
I mean, we have the sled jerry left.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh man, we are flying through fuel.
It's cold, that's why. So we're spending like $130 every 2 days on fuel.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's not ideal.
No.
Peel that tape off and stick the cord through the wall.
So smart.
We're still waiting to be hooked up to BC Hydro, our municipal power, which will hopefully be happening mid-November.
You coming? Yeah, got it.
Nice.
Now, we just got some cheap
For like
thermometers.
$9 or something.
Hold right here.
Right there.
Yeah. It's a little janky, but hey.
You know what? If it tells us what temperature it is in here, that's all it needs to do.
Yep.
The next morning, while I was busy editing this video, Mike got to work installing the filtration equipment.
I'm gonna switch this out for this, but I just have to make the hole. So what I have is 1 1/4 inch hole saw, and then I have to ream it out slightly afterwards. Come on in.
You're gonna cut it.
Yeah.
I'll hold the bottom of it, and then you switcheroo, and we glue it together.
Exactly. Most well caps that I've seen in videos are like a specific thing that fits in the pipe. A lot of them lock and they're a lot more robust and sturdy. I made that one just a temporary because couldn't find anything for the 1 inch PVC. A lot of other wells are outside and critters and animals can try to get in. This is protected inside our well house, so it's basically just to keep bugs out and keep it sealed airtight, which it's definitely going to be because it's a very tight fit, and then a little bit of caulking to seal that last little bit up. Let's get this switched out.
Okay.
I think what I'm going to do, I'll just get you to hold that like right there.
Hands on that. That's the primer, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going up the coupler here. Hey, you're holding. So you might have seen in our slab pour video that I already set up the exact same well pump. However, it was leaking out of the bottom right here, this fitting. So luckily they were able to warranty it for me, and we're going to install that.
Once the well cap was switched out, I went back into my editing cave and Mike continued trying his hand at plumbing, which is something relatively new for him.
So that's what we're going for. Just gonna hook up like that. So that there is to help prime the pump, help prime the pipe here. So just pour a little water down there, pour a little water in there, and that'll prime the whole system. And I totally could have done this at a PEX. I'm just trying to keep the pressure and flow rates as high as possible.
The first filtration system Mike installed was a particulate and sediment filter with 5 and 1 micron filter chambers.
This is a all-in-one, the pump and the tank, all one unit. I'm trying to just keep it simple. Let's screw this in. These fittings will allow me to unscrew this and remove the pump if I ever have a failure or an issue with the pump. That's looking good. Let's open up this UV filter.
The UV filter is a type of sterilization system that kills any bacteria or microorganisms that's in our well water.
Oh shoot, I didn't even think about that. Well, that is the inlet, that is the outlet. So I have it hooked up backwards. Need to rethink some stuff here, because you move this out of the way and then you need to pull your light in and out. So it says you need the unit's worth of height. So that is high enough. So I'm gonna move this over a little bit, and then we're gonna mount the UV light there, and we're going to bring our water across the bottom and up into this. This is the UV bulb. And then we got our cable. I'm just gonna quickly verify that it's set to 120 volts. This is the same cable I had hooked up to this before. All I did there was hook the black to where the black goes, the white to where the white goes, and the ground to the ground. So this is as far as I got. I do need a couple more pieces to get from there over to there, but I'm not exactly sure how I want to transition from PVC to the compression fittings on the polyethyl. I also need to tee off, because there is a hose bib that's going to go there. Got to go into town, buy a couple little things tomorrow, but it's a good spot to leave it off for the night. So I'm back out at the well house. The weather is a lot nicer today. We're going to take advantage of that by getting this outdoor spigot on, and hopefully today is the day that we are drinking our own water out of our own well. So let's get into it. So I'm just going to put what we call around here a fascia block on the outside of the building to mount my frost-free hose bib to, so that we can just detail and waterproof this, and then the siding can butt up to this block later. We'll probably end up flashing this block later as well. So 6 inches, that's the inside of the wall. We want it maybe 2 inches inside of that. Punch it all the way through to the inside. Make sure that we are a little bit of membraning on top of this. So we have this sloping out slightly because this is a frost-free hose bib. This hose bib actually shuts off back inside the building, so you can leave it open all winter. Now into the inside, get this inside all hooked up and drink some water. Spray foam in this cavity a bit here. That's close enough. Okay, so now we are going to connect this 1/2 inch tee off there. I'm gonna go out, we're gonna put a shut off right there, run it over, down. But for now, that is the plan. Now we want our shut off right there, just out of the way of all the well stuff. Does this already have filters in it? 5 micron filter. Well, no, it's just getting tight like there. Oh, yeah. I guess that's, I don't know. I was all worried about leaving room below this, and you don't need any room. Because that's centered in there, but the problem is I'm like, it looks like it just centers itself.
It does.
Oof. Nice. I joined Mike in the well hose to help prime the pump.
Okay.
Okay, coming up.
Tilt. I think we were getting close.
Okay.
And once primed, we secured the cap and fired up the pump.
See any leaks?
Nope.
Filters are pressurized, 50 psi.
Nice work.
I was kind of expecting some leaks, weren't you?
Yeah, same.
And just like that, we had water back on tap.
I'm gonna put a hose on it just to...
The system was holding pressure. So one of the last things to get done was connecting our filtration system to our main water lines that would very soon get run to our manufactured home. We were a little short on supplies, so there will be some modifications made to this and some connection points swapped out in the coming days.
When we lay them in the ground, I want them pressurized so that if we cause a leak, we'll know that there's a leak because the pump will kick on. So which one is this? Well, we'll see real quick.
See.
Point it away from you.
A lot of line. Oh! Which one's that? The middle one?
So that's the spigot. That's the bar one. Full? Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
The less air we have in it, the less floaty it's going to be. Okay, go ahead, fill it back.
Okay. Zero smell. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
This is the first drink of our own water. We just pulled out of the ground.
Yay! Has a bit of a taste.
Iron.
That's iron. So we might need the, what's it called? There's another type of filter that absorbs iron and sulfur taste and particles. And this was one of the filters that we thought we may need, but we weren't entirely sure. We wanted to taste it first to be sure.
There's always a bit of apprehension when you do something like this. Just before we spend the big money on that filter, because that filter is an expensive filter. I think it's like
It's a couple grand. We'll take a sample, we'll send it off to the lab.
telling us exactly how much of every single thing we have in it.
All right, well, it's been a few days and we've got our water test back, but we weren't able to find a proper lab that could do a full comprehensive workup. However, we were able to find out that we have 1.8 parts per million of iron and a 5.5 pH level. We think it's ferrous iron because our water does come out clear. But we still will need to get another filtration system to deal with that iron. We're just not sure exactly what we want to get yet because there are so many options and so much information out there. So if you guys have any suggestions for us, let us know because we are not water quality experts. But this is great because we are still able to use this water for everything but drinking water for the time being. So the well house is nearly done. Obviously, there's still a few little things to take care of, but this is a great place to leave it off. I'll try and get these videos up a little sooner, but there is a ton going on the property, and next week we're gonna be over at the manufactured home. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you very soon.